Efendiler, şöyle bir ufaktan bakalım. Gerçi siz Discord'da gördünüz mü ben sizi? Gördüm ben sizi. Ben sizi Discord'da gördüm. Hiç beklememişsiniz. Oynatıyorum. Alın alt yazıyı da açtım. Ha, alt yazı otomatik mi oluşturulmuş? Yok mu şey? Normalinden. Yok. O zaman ben çevireceğim. Mekiska mı yazmışım? Vallahi mı? Bakayım. Bir saniye. Ona yan ekrandan bakayım. Burası kalsın bir. Hadi sen oynaya dur. Ben de bir yandan şeye bakayım.
Jason, I'm a community manager at Coffee Stain Studios, and last week we shared a teaser with a bunch of new cosmetic buildables that are coming to Update 5 in Satisfactory, and the week before that we shared a teaser for the ramp rails that are coming. That is a feature that has been highly requested from the community for years. So super exciting to be able to finally unveil those and tease those to y'all, and you guys seem pretty hyped about both. So today what I thought is take the save file from last week's teaser and break that apart. Just fly through it, point out all the new things that are coming, and show you how some of the new things work. I'm also going to cover some new changes to the build system that are going to be coming in Update 5 as well. So a lot of cool new stuff to chew on in this video. So let's just jump straight into it now. Okay, so this is the save file from the teaser trailer from last week. And first thing I'll just say, disclaimer, this is work in progress stuff. There's going to be like icons that are duplicate or not set at all, and maybe something's missing. There might be hitches, etc., etc. You know, this is just work in progress stuff. So just so you know, okay, let's get on with it. So the trailer opened up with a shot that was kind of like this, and we could see a bunch of different things here. And the first thing that people noticed were these like support-looking pillar things here. So people were kind of excited, theorizing that these were train track supports. You know, in our reveal trailer from years ago.
İşte ise insanlar heyecanlandı, bunlar şey mi, train track'in rayların destekleri mi diye.
The train tracks actually had these supports on them, and people were wondering, are these the train supports? They are not. They actually are not those supports.
Değilmiş.
They're just small metal pillars. So I'm going to just pull one out here and just build it so you can see. These are essentially the exact same thing as the big pillars. So if this is the pillar base, I'll put a second one down. So
Bu da yenilenmiş.
And then the top.
Daha bir şeyini yemişler. Yoksa grafiklerinden dolayı mı böyle bu? Şeyi azaltmışlar, poligon azaltmışlar bundan bu arada. Daha şey duruyor. Az. Böyle daha detayı az duruyor.
They're the same thing as that, but they are new and they're smaller. So if I put a small pillar base down, put a couple pillars.
Ha yok. And
a little top on it as well. So that's all they are. They were just kind of built there, and then the train tracks were built sort of on top of them. That's pretty much what's happening. So there aren't...
Şeyler, bizim bildiklerimiz artık small oldu. Onun büyük versiyonuna getirdiler. İki tane versiyonu olacak.
They're not really supports, but you know, you can use them as train track supports if you wish. People also spotted from this opening shot this here.
Gördük.
This looks a little different.
Frame pillar da var.
And that's because
frame pillar'mış o.
Frame pillars. So these are the exact same things as before, so I can put them down on top. Basically, we have added new kinds of pillars. So we've added new kinds of pillars, and also we've added a new build feature. Okay, so this is a change to the build system that I'm going to demonstrate to you guys right now. So if I go to build this metal pillar, on the like hotbar thing down there, you can see that there's an option called quick switch. I can press E, and what it does is I can press E to switch between different kinds of the same thing. So there's a metal pillar, press E, there are now concrete pillars, and there are also frame pillars, and then I can switch back to metal pillar again. So there are 3 different materials. And the new base...
Şimdi normalde şey getirmişlerdi ya, dairesel menü getirmişlerdi. Şimdi tek tuşta sadece basarak bir sonrakine geçiyorsun. Hani basılı tutup dairesel menüden seçmek yerine tık E'ye bastığın zaman hemen bir sonraki şeye geçiyor. Hızı değiştirme. Güzel.
Without the metal sticking up means that the base now works.
Bu foundation'larda falan da çalışır o zaman. Güzel özellik ha.
Works with whatever material you put down. Whether you put down the frame one, the concrete one, or the metal one, the base works with it well. So yeah, there are 3 different kinds. And of course, the small pillars are the same. I can use E to quick switch those as well. So you've got different kinds of small pillars and also different kinds of big pillars that are now introduced. And this
bu kare,
bu dikdörtgen. Now I'm telling you about quick switch right away because that feature is not just limited to pillars, it's limited to a bunch of things. It could be like foundations, walls, railings. A lot of things have quick switch functionality on them as well. So as I go through this demonstration, I'll demonstrate the quick switch
Az önce dediğime geldi bu arada. Kendi de doğruladı. Bu özellik sadece pillar'lara özel değil diyor. Bir sürü şey var diyor. Duvarlar işte foundation'lar falan filan.
Versions of things as well, so you can see how handy it really is. So yeah, okay. So first thing that we're showing off is new pillars, big ones as well as small ones, and in 3 different like materials or types, I suppose. All right, so moving on. Let's talk.
Wait. Dur, bir şey daha gördüm.
Materials or types, I suppose. All right, so moving.
Onu turuncu yapmışlar. Güzel olmuş bu arada. Çok daha güzel görünüyor.
Let's talk about these fences real quick. Okay, so we've got some railings down here. You can see the railings. We showed off these railings in the teaser, 2 weeks ago with the ramp railings. So let's just dismantle these real quick. And first thing
Koyarken otomatik yapıyor diye.
to say is these railings are half size, so they're half the size of the foundation now, and you can put them in the middle or on the sides. So that's something new. You can also just put them down
işte
on
böyle.
the ramp. So
Güzel.
it's not like a different railing. You just use the existing railings to do that. Right? I can just build these here if I want. Now railings also have a quick switch as well. So let's play with those. So there's this railing.
Bunun olmasını istiyordum bu arada. Menüden o şeyi çevirmek var ya, ızdıraptı. Otomatik olarak onu uygulaması beklediğim bir şeydi.
Quick switch.
Abi kafayı yedi bu arada. Bak hala daha şeyde. Bu muhtemelen fixerler bunu.
Weird barrier. And then we can quick switch to a...
Ha yok, bariyermiş.
Alright.
Ha bariyer de var. Bunu göstermemişlerdi. Ha başka railing de var. Eski railing de var.
Was something a little bit like this. There was this water tower thing, which I'm gonna talk about later. We sort of looked at this little, I don't know what you would call it, shed.
Ne var ki orada yeni?
And what this teased was, of course, these roof pieces here. So there's metal roof 1 meter, metal roof flat, metal roof 4 meters, and there's also a roof 2 meters as well. We can demonstrate roofs in a little bit.
Hoş geldin
You
kral.
can see this looks pretty nice. Another piece here are these glass windows. So this is window thin. So I'm just going to pull this window out, and I can just sort of build it if I want. Windows also have a quick switch, so I can just press quick switch to change.
Bu arada bu şey değil mi ya? Şu endüstriyel bir tane pencere vardı ortasında şeyleri olan. Onu resmen kopyalamışlar, tekrardan şey yapmışlar. O aseti kullanarak bir pencere daha yapmışlar.
Between each kind of window.
Bunlar daha kolay görünebilsin diye yazıları etrafına şey koymuşlar. Bu iyi. Ne deniyor buna? Kontur değil. Arka plan. Emin hoş geldin kral.
These ones I think used to exist. This one as well.
Aa bak bu.
Between each kind of window. These ones.
Pencerelerdeki camlar da değişik gibi duruyor.
I think used to...
Sanki böyle yansımaları falan yenilemişler. Orijinal yansımalara benzemiyor bunlar ama. Bak kenarlarındaki metal yansıması farklı. Metaller değişmiş. Böyle parlamıyor bunlar şu anda. Ya bak şunu kopyalamışlar dedim. Şunu şöyle üst üste kopyalamışlar. Cama çevirmişler. Al sana yeni pencere.
We can look down here and what we can see.
Bean'i almışlar burada. Burada bean vardı.
Is we have a few new pieces. We've got this orange wall, angular. We can pull that out. Quick switch on that. There's a steeper version. So that's the orange angular wall. Also, diagonal wall here. Pull that out as well. Quick switch changes between differing heights. 1 meter, 2 meter, 4 meter, 8
güzel,
meters.
Güzel.
Another thing that's probably worth a...
Bir şey söyleyeyim mi? Biz yok olduk bu arada. Ben şu an yok oldum şeyde. Düşünemiyorum. Orada yaparken böyle pat böyle değiştireceksin böyle. Yani her seferinde menüden aradık ya. Extended Walls yüzünden. Artık yok aga. Yok tertemiz. Tak. Süper. Kaptan Lucas. Hoş geldin kral. CPT'yi kaptan diye okudum ama öyledir umarım. Teşekkür ederim aboneliğin için.
Walls also are in different heights as well, 1 meter and also the full, I think it's 4 meters, right? Yeah. So you can use quick switch to switch between those.
Evet bu arada yeni modlar geldi. Kullanabilirsiniz. 2 tanesini koyabildim. Takke vardı. Discord'da olanlar gördü takkeyi. Oraya ekledim ama takke onaylanmadı. Galiba dini bir şey olduğunu gördükleri için. Doğru ama kaptan değilim. Ha tamam, nick doğru olsun da yeter.
We've got the frame foundations here. There's also these inverted ramps, which are also in the frame material or type. So those are here too. Orange wall angulars underneath. So yeah, these were sort of new as well.
Aşağıya da konuyor
People have
ters
spotted
şekilde.
these little black things up here.
Bunlar şey diyeyim ya, içeride şeyler vardı, böyle kirişler vardı duvarların üst kısmında, şeyleri, elektriklere bağlayabilelim diye. Kesin onlar.
And we're wondering what
Aslında var ya, bak, elektrik bağlarsın, konveyör geçirirsin. Üf.
these were about. So, well, when you go in, you can kind of get an idea as to what they were, because the next shot in the trailer was this here, right? And some folks didn't really know what they were supposed to see here, but a keen eye spots these beams running all along the top. Okay, so you can actually build beams. Now, so beams are coming. So if you want to build those, I'll just pull that out there. I can take it and I can just build the beams as I want. You can just kind of just do them however you want. They do snap to things as well, like the way these beams were built. I think they were like something like.
Ben parça şeklindeler zannettim bunları. Böyle şey koyuyorsun zannettim. Böyle mi bunlar?
A foundation or something. And then just built it out like that.
Yok oldum.
Like that.
Yok oldum şu anda.
You can just connect the beams. All right. So the beams, the way they work right now, they're actually in work in progress. I think they're a little finicky to use, but we're going to find out. We're going to sort of tighten it up between now and when Update 5 comes out. But beams are pretty cool. They're freeform. You can do whatever you want with them. Pretty exciting. Now, these little black parts here that were sticking out the other side are actually beam connectors. Yeah, so these are beam connectors. You can just put them on beams if you want. I mean, you can put them wherever you want, really. And then you can sort of build a beam out from there to here, maybe.
Fuck.
Build a connector. Connectors are nice to sort of hide the seams, you know, and also like here when they...
Jace, we have a life. Stop it. We have a life. Hayatımız var bizim.
When they poke out of the wall here, you can do that. You know, use the connectors there.
Ben yok oldum bunlarda şu anda.
I mean, there's no saving this kind of garbage, but you know, you can put connectors on the tips. Make it look a little nicer. I mean, like I said, there's no saving this, but yeah, the beams are, you know, freeform, and we think a lot of people will have a lot of fun with them.
Dur spoil verme.
You know, get pretty creative with
Daha
the
ne var?
beams. Of course, you can build these power lines up on them. I've also heard sort of suggestions of like putting down, like putting conveyors up on top. I think Kibitz maybe said that, maybe? Too steep. And then you could just like run conveyor belts above if you want. Like.
Aslında var ya, bak, elektrik bağlarsın, konveyör geçirirsin. Üf.
I don't know. Maybe that's the thing.
Bu ihtiyaçtı. Bu ihtiyaçtı, çünkü bunu yapabilmek için konveyörleri havada bırakıyorduk. Önce foundation döşüyorduk. Foundation'larda konveyörü döşüyorduk. Sonra konveyörün desteklerini ve foundation'ları siliyorduk. Böyle bir şey yapabilmek için. Bu çok iyi olmuş.
Yani... Maybe that's a thing you can do if you want. Up to you.
Kimisine laf sokuyor.
Yeah, so those are the beams. They're coming too. Now we can fly through the roof. Whoop. And we can see up here we've got a new bunch of new pieces. We've got these FICSIT roof pieces. So the roof pieces, yeah, I didn't show this before actually, the quick switch. So quick switch on the roofs change basically to 1 meter, flat, 4 meters, or 2 meters. Yep, so there are a bunch of cool roofs here. We've also got these glass ceilings here as well. So the roofs also come in various types of materials. So you can do glass ones if you want. We've also got this weird little...
Bana mı öyle geliyor? Bunlar foundation'ın 1/4 kadar mı görünüyor? Çok ufak görünüyorlar.
Construction over here, making use of diagonal walls, varying angles
Sağ
of
tık hoş
the
geldin
glass
kral.
roofs here, and also 1 meter orange walls here to sort of make...
Fly hiledir. Jace de hile yapıyor. Jace, you are a cheater. You are flying.
And then I think it went off to, like, I think it was from this angle here, it sort of like rose up. Like that, yeah. Glass walls and stuff and roofs here, and then I think it went
Çok güzel. Çok güzel.
off to, like, I think it was from this angle
Çok
here, it
güzel.
sort of like rose up. Like that, yeah. And what this shot kind of showed was, you know, these new sort of like walkways with the railings and how the walkways now look. It also, you know, you could see these diagonal walls back here. You could also see these wall frames, and these are the same things that we're going to get back to in a moment that would by the water. Yeah, the same stuff with the fluid buffer from before.
Frame Foundation'ın şeyi de var, duvarı da var artık. İçinden de rahat rahat geçirebileceğiz onların. Oh, güzel.
Yeah, so you can see a bunch of new walkway stuff. You can also now see this kind of construction here with the inverted ramps with the frames, angular walls on them. You can build some pretty cool looking stuff. Window out here looks pretty neat, I think. The next shot was from the trailer was this sort of like big shot here to close it out. Some folks sort of spotted the frame piece down there as well, which we've seen a bunch of times already today. Inverted ramps, as well as
Görmüştük, gördük, evet.
Orange angular walls. And another interesting thing was these steps here, walkway stairs.
Bunlar da yeni hakikaten. Bunlar yeni. Bildiğimiz değil.
Nice. Work well.
Fuck. Onu fark etmemiştim bak.
Now, the other interesting thing was like at the end of that shot, we had like.
Çıkarın artık şunu. Architecture ile biraz şey eklemişler. Neydi modun adı? Bir tane modu, Structural Solutions. Resmen onu eklemişler biraz. Ya aslında çoğu şey planlı. Hani bazen insanlar diyor ya, modu eklemişler falan diye. Aslında adamlar çok daha önceden onun planını yapmış oluyorlar. Genelde.
Orange wall diagonals and stuff too. Yep. Okay, so let's address this sort of fluid buffer situation here. There's a few interesting things going on here. First of all, this looks like frame foundation, but it's actually not. It's actually just wall frames built in a square kind of thing. So that's a new piece that's coming. But even if it's a wall or a foundation, whatever, you shouldn't be able to have these pipes intersecting the wall. They're coming through the wall here. So what's actually happening here? So some of you might know of this thing called the cheatcrete. It was a specific foundation piece that had like a bug with it that basically allowed people to snap other foundations to it, to clip foundations into other foundations so that they can come up with more interesting builds. And so people sort of relied on that piece in order to sort of let their creativity flow and build what they wanted to build. In Update 4, we fixed that. We fixed that piece. We fixed that bug. And people couldn't do that anymore. And people didn't like that because we basically just stifled their creativity, essentially, right? So we reintroduced the bug so that people can keep building the way that they used to build. But we don't really want to rely on a bug. We would prefer to just have a system in place that allows people to build the way they want to build. Build the kind of things that they want. Called soft clearance. I think it's only manufacturing building.
Soft clearance, aynen. Manufacturing, power switches, power poles, hub, MEM, hard clearance. Cosmetic building pieces, conveyor belts, pipes will have soft clearance.
Will have hard.
Yani iki farklı clearance var şu an. İki farklı şey var. Çakışma mekaniği var şu anda. Bildiğimiz çakışma mekaniği hard clearance oldu. Şeyler için, duvarlar vesaire bunlar için hani geçebilecekleri daha ince noktalar olacak herhalde. Biraz da onu şey yapmışlar.
Clearance, everything else will have soft clearance. Two things with hard clearance cannot overlap each other. That's when you get the encroaching others clearance issue and you cannot build them on top of each other. Anything with soft clearance can be built overlapping anything else.
Bir daha söyle bakayım.
Clearance cannot overlap each other. That's when you get the encroaching others clearance issue and you cannot build them on top of each other. Anything with soft clearance can be built overlapping anything else, whether it's hard clearance or soft clearance. So that's how this sort of works here. These pipes, these walls here have soft clearance. I think the pipes have soft clearance as well. And so they can be built through each other now. And it's not just because there's a hole. This could be a solid wall and you could still build the pipe through it.
Ha yok. Bildiğin geçirebiliyorsun içinden.
And that's up to you if you want to have things clipping or not, right? So let me just do a little demonstration. Okay, so let's say, for example, if I put down this constructor, I can put that down there, but I cannot put another constructor down, right? Because, unless it's outside of the clearance box, right? Otherwise, I get the encroaching others clearance error message. So I can't build a constructor here, right? But if I take a conveyor pole, for example, or conveyor belts, rather, I can actually pass that through this building now, and there's still an error message. The clearance still lights up red, and there's the error message saying overlapping soft clearance, but you can now build there if you want, okay? Because we don't care anymore. We'd prefer that you guys get to build things that look the way that you want them to look, okay?
What the fuck?
We're now allowing this kind of clipping. You can use it if you want. If you don't like clipping, you can just not do it if you don't want. You get the error message as well if you want to play that way. That's up to you. You know, walls as well are now soft clearance.
What?
So you can build those into
This is okay.
you know, overlapping
What? Conveyor belt o ne ya?
if you wish. Up to you. Yeah, so that's how that works. I have another demonstration though. Let's take you to another thing that you can do with it. Okay.
Yani makine yapıyorsun. Makine yaptıktan sonra fuck you. İçinden konveyör geçiriyorum. Ne oluyor lan?
So here is another demonstration of hard and soft clearance, allowing you to build and play how you want to play. This is a beautiful little monstrosity that I've created. Unveiling it in 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? The conveyor belts look like they're like a boa constrictor constricting the particle accelerator. So you can see here that these the conveyor belts here, you know, they're going through the loop of the particle accelerator. I've got walls in between here. And, you know, like, so in this case here, like, there's not really any clipping per se. You know, like, it's not clipping the models. You know, I can build a conveyor belt and a conveyor pole on top of the particle accelerator if I want. You know, I can just build how I want. So I'm not actually clipping here, but I am clipping soft clearance with the hard clearance. But the game just lets me build that now. So, you know, I can just, yeah, I can just build walls if I want,
No.
clip in if I want, whatever, right? But to demonstrate hard clearance, again, like there's empty space here, right? But that is technically still part of the hard clearance of the particle accelerator. So I can't build a constructor in there, right? Can't actually do that. You need to build it outside. That issue of the hard clearance becomes even more apparent with the cold generator, which is notorious for this. So the cold generator's clearance, you know, it's like a box, right? It goes from the bottom all the way to the top. And this entire empty space here is also part of the clearance of the cold generator. So previously you couldn't build any foundations over that space, but you can now. All right? You get the overlapping soft clearance warning message, but you can do that now. Right? But of course, you cannot build a constructor there because that is still overlapping, that's encroaching others' clearance. That is overlapping the clearance of the cold generator. You
Oğlum cold generator'lar ne güzel olur ya. Bu arada ben bunu daha önce şeyle yapmıştım. Daha yayın falan yapmıyorken bu sistemi bu şekilde şey şeklinde yaptıydım. Neyi kullanmıştım ben o zaman? O zaman Reactions ve Smart var mıydı? Smart yoktu. O zaman Smart yoktu. Ben Reactions'da kullanmıştım onu. Reactions'da fill komutuyla şey yapmıştım. Çatı yapmıştım o zaman. Smart'la da yapılabilir şu anda. Ama artık gerek kalmadı buna yani. Yani duvarlar, conveyor belt'ler, foundation'lar rahat rahat koyabileceksin makinelerin yanına, içine, dışına, neresinden istersen.
That's basically a good demonstration of how hard and soft clearance works. I hope that makes sense. I hope that was clear. And I hope that's sort of exciting because, you know, like, I mean, this is ugly, but I'm sure a lot of people can get away with doing some really, really beautiful stuff now with this new change to the clearance. Okay, so the last thing that I want to show off today is another major change coming to the build system, and that is a new feature called zooping. So what is zooping? So if we build foundations, we usually build them one by one, right? But we've added zooping as an optional build mode now. So if you hold R, you can switch to zoop. And what zoop does is it allows you to zoop. You can mass construct foundations. Zoop. There we are. You can also zoop with like walls, for example. Now you can't zoop with everything. All right. You can only zoop with like walls.
Smart is still better.
Walls and foundations. You can't zoop like constructors or manufacturing buildings and things like that.
But it's a thing. It's a thing.
You can only go up to 10 at a time.
Gerek kalmadı mı? Bence Smart hala işe yarıyor ki buna göre.
And you can only do it in one dimension. So a lot of people are probably already
Çünkü tek boyutta büyütebiliyor.
commenting.
Hayır, bu smart değil. Bu smart değil. Bu cidden hani farklı, çok daha farklı bir mekanik. Tutup çekiyorsun. Ama tek bir düzlemde gidiyor bu çektiğin şey. Smart'ta sen komutlar vererek istersen bu şekilde 3 farklı boyutta istediğin yönde bir şey yapabiliyorsun. İstediğin kadar yapabiliyorsun. Smart hala daha iyi bundan.
This is smart mod. They're adding smart mod. We're not adding smart mod. Smart mod is a very popular mod that people use for Satisfactory. It's like a building enhancement mod. Gives you all the tools in the universe. Yes.
No, this is not a smart. I agree with you.
So this is not that mod. This is just limited to 10 pieces at a time. Just
bir de tek seferde 10 parça koyabiliyorsun.
Foundations.
Aynen. Şimdi söyledi.
Some other sort of decorative things, only in one dimension. Yeah. So for the longest time, we've sort of pushed back on any sort of mass construction. We felt that the game did.
Hala smart'ı kurarım bu arada. Geldiği zaman modlar. Ama modların yokluğunda bu bir şey yapar yani. Bir tutar böyle hani karnın acıkır. Yemek yiyemezsin, yemek hazır değildir ama böyle ufak bir atıştırmalık bir şey atarsın o bir rahatlatır ya seni. Bu o olmuş şu anda.
We need it, but we're now at a point where we feel, a lot of people want it, and we sort of see, that there's actually a lot of good reasons to have even just this level of mass construction. We think it will go a long way, make a lot of people happy, make things a little easier, help out a lot of people with accessibility issues too. Sometimes the clicking is a little bit too much.
Ya hiç yoktan iyidir bu arada. Çünkü smart kullanmayan insanlar var. Abi ben vanilya oynayacağım oyunu diyen insanlar var. Onlar için de duvar yapmak hakikaten ızdırap. Bunu eklemek evet bir çözüm. Hani en azından adamın bir saatte yapacağı duvarı 20 dakikada yapar yani. En azından şu anda.
If you think anything will help you, please leave a thanks, Jace. Helps a lot in the comments below, so we know. Okay, so that's pretty much all I want to show off today. Okay. I hope you found that interesting. So that's a bunch of new, cosmetic buildable stuff, changes to the build system, a lot of cool new stuff. Now, despite showing off all this stuff, there's actually still more with building that's going to be coming in Update 5 for Satisfactory that I'm not going to go over today. And I think, this is our third week in a row we've been focusing on new buildable stuff. So I think next week we're going to look at some other things instead. I think that's the plan anyway. We'll see how that pans out. And yeah, so we'll talk more about other build stuff either in the future or maybe we'll save it for the patch notes video. We're not really sure yet. So if you found this video interesting, if you're hyped for the new things that are coming, please give us a like, a thumbs up. That would warm our cold developer hearts. And then also if you're interested in keeping up to date with...
Evet. Beğenmediyseniz beğenin. Bir tane de yorum atın oraya İngilizce. Yettiği kadarıyla. Biz dönelim buraya. Saatlerdir buradayız bu arada. Burada karakter bekliyor. 2 saattir bizi. Ekran çevir. Şimdi sizi bir okuyayım bakayım.